drop.
Hello, and welcome into the Challengers League. I'm Mad Magical, and I'm joined in by Kangas and Beatdown. And I don't know if you both know this, but I wasn't actually supposed to be here today. I know,
Yeah,
shocker,
I heard.
But I am substituting for Desrex. So Desrex, if you're out there, hope you're feeling better, buddy. But I am stepping in. I'm not sure what's going on, but either way, we're gonna wish him well. I'm stepping in, and I'm
What shirt are
ready
you
for an
wearing?
exciting day.
What did you get for your last-minute substitute shirt? The pizza?
It's pizza. So my
That's
niece
incredible.
actually picked this one out. My niece
That's
was the one
awesome.
who picked this out. So that way you can enjoy this shirt as well. We have to enjoy something else that we need to do because we didn't do this at the end of last week. And that is our Samsung SSD Fast 5 for week 4. We're going to go bring this up so everyone can see this before we start off the day. So looking at this right now, kind of close on almost every regard. Everything's within like 30 seconds.
Which is standouts.
Yeah, this is kind of unusual. Usually we have one thing that's like way above the rest. I mean, obviously, Manui's fastest kill is going to be like the thing that gets my eyes, but then Lynx and Sketch are also not that far behind.
But I don't know if you know like the average for this beatdown. I actually don't offhand. These seem like really fast kills overall, like all three of these, right?
Yeah, we've seen faster, I will say, but 2 minutes, that's pretty good as far as bot lanes go. The thing that stands out to me, actually, is the mid-fastest mythic item. APA and Get Back about the same time. Spyrax has a good 30-plus seconds on them. And, I mean, last weekend, Spyrax had one of the best weekends we've probably ever seen from him this year. So it's cool that it reflects in something like this, among other stats, I'm sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Spyrax was having quite the standout performance in week 4. And someone else that kind of had a standout performance, I'm surprised wasn't on this list, was Darkwings. I did expect that he would be on here because he also was really popping off on that Tristana performance. Really kind of looking back to how we expected of him when he first was on Dignitas Academy, 100 Thieves Next. That was the Darkwings we come to know and love, but that we finally got to see in week 4, Kangas.
Well, I also got to say, outside of the mid lanes, the supports, this is an engaged support meta, everybody. We're no longer getting the 6.5-minute item transformations. So.
Well, is that because everyone's roaming around all over the place? They're not in lanes.
So,
they're not
love that.
Exactly. That's what you're like, oh, we're not getting these fast item transformations. I'm like, yeah, good. I'm glad. Because I'd rather that be the case. That means they're moving around the map. They're trying to make these plays work elsewhere.
That's a Samsung SSD Fast 5. We got the rest of the show to focus on, Magical.
True. Yes, we do. And speaking of that, we have the play of the week. We have 2 contenders for everyone to vote on. So let's take a look at our first one, and that was by Arrow.
Return though is Get Back killing out Kim down. Arrow's trying to be the saving grace. Scary Jerry goes in with that killer instinct, but Arrow with the Moonlight Vigil dash, and that's huge. That's 2 kills go over to Arrow, and following it up is APA on a killing spree.
That was
Gotta
slick.
love the moon glide right there. I know Mazel likes to call it the Astro glide, but it's just one of those things. I think
Arrow
Moon works better. Moon works better because it was a Felios Moonlight Vigil, and he's using the Moonlight Vigil at the same time as the Gale Force.
You're making points. You're making points. All right, that's clip number 1.
Yes, it is. But we have clip number 2 that we got, and that was set by Tomio. So let's take a look. Bold of Rose Thorn. I get he wants to play around ONAP, but now look at Tomio. The flash with the ult there. The double knock-a-pop Blossom. There's no way to out-heal that one, NXI, as you flash away and watch Spawn die. Don't know about you two, but I know which one I'm personally pulling for. I always love flash plays like that from any jungler. It just... Those ones are always hilarious to watch.
I think that's the first time... Oh, sorry, go for it, Beat.
I was just going to say, I hope you guys enjoyed that clip and clips like it. It's 13-13 now, and Nico can't hide her transformation that long while disguised anymore. I'll go for it. I hate that champion.
But hold on. That kind of play is still going to happen. That was a flash over the wall kind of play. There's literally... She could show that she's Nico the whole time, and it's still going to happen the exact same way.
I don't make the rules. And it's just, you know,
well, either way, you can vote right now as to which one you believe was the better. I think that's the first time we've had like a more funny one on there. Usually, like we'll include one funny one in the Twitter vote.
Penta.
Oh, yeah,
Parry Penta, okay, yeah, that one was pretty funny. But also
was
impressive.
funny.
And I gotta say, Keel was robbed. I think Keel should have made top
Dude,
2 if you didn't.
Shochi
Go
was
check out the
robbed.
Twitter video because that's where we
Yeah.
post so that you can vote on Twitter who makes the live show. Keel had an incredible Baron steal.
Yeah, I'll say I think this was our strongest contenders of all of our top plays of the week.
And the two of them didn't get picked.
Yeah, that's like I don't know. Tomio's the one I voted for personally because I like creative plays like that. But regardless, we got to move the show forward. And in fact, we have a little thing for everybody to really try to emphasize that we are in week 5. We are getting towards the end of the race, and we have the NACL kart race to show you all.
Welcome to the NACL Grand Prix. Race to playoffs is about to begin. Teams, on your mark. Get set, go!
It's the race to the playoffs this time of the year, and our champion is gonna take us to a new gear. Gotta rev up your engine, take your foot off the brake. We got NA talent coming, this should be a piece of cake.
You better watch out, something wicked this way comes. Shochi just caught you, fiddling with your thumbs. When the Weepers walk the road, you better stay clear. The streets belong to Cincinnati, I fear.
Rowdy Bob is here to take you back to school. While music sequence will make you look like a fool. You'll tremble in your feathers before the attack, cause the last thing that you wanna hear before the grades crack.
They're new to the league, but they got a lot to boast. 3 returning champions to make this guy toast. Meech and Young not looking so reckless, all part of a full and balanced breakfast.
Down the tracks they go. It's anyone's race at this point. That's right, but oh no. AoE's got a Tristana Ziggs combo. Take cover!
Late game run, it's time to get wrecked. Feeling all this damage is area of effect. Will on the hunt like he holds a grudge. Knock you out of the park like he's Aaron Judge.
The Titans of Collegiate got school in the name. Oh, don't rush on a beeline right to the top lane. If you're down, but got fright on the mind, it's a race to playoffs, head to the finish line.
The race is on and the clock is ticking. EG in the lab to get things clicking. Found the roll, Chet Shaden here to carry. Smoothie and King stacking bodies to bury.
Everyone rise to the pledge of own nation. Top just got a solo kill donation. You think that it's easy? I don't really doubt it. Oh, another upset? You want to talk about it?
Here comes the white flag. Just one more lap for our teams are on the track. And my goodness, pulling away from the pack, your top 3 teams.
In the sky high, they fly high right before your eye, and before you die, you'll be asking why can't a rookie be on Wi-Fi? Oh yeah, it's Masu. Say bye-bye.
We got Kills and Mudo, those guys from 100 Thieves. If you face them in draft, there's tricks up the sleeves. When the chips are down, it's time to show the ace. Got the pedal on the clutch, drifting into second place.
It's liquid, they told them not to keep on the fire, but the way that they're playing, you can't get any higher. From 2 Chainz, Bradley, MVP, and Mir, they're leading the pack, and the end ain't near.
And off they are going to the finish line. Better step on the gas, cause we're running out of time. If winning's the goal and you really want to brag, then you gotta be first to pass the checkered flag.
All right, guys, you want to talk about it? You want to talk about the round here? Honestly, that's my personal favorite line. I know, Kangas, you have yours.
Everybody rise to the Pledge of O Nation, okay? Graves came in way too hot on that bar.
That's pretty good.
It was good, but I can't get over you want to talk about it. I just love that pun. I think it works so well in there. But Pete, what about you? What do you think of their Grand Prix rap they made?
It's probably the O Nation one. It's either that or the Cincinnati I Fear line, which I really
That
like.
one,
but
I
the
love
league
that
isn't
one, too.
actually Cincinnati Fears at the moment, so I got to lean to O Nation.
True. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. And as well, we have been letting everyone vote on the play of the week. We got to kind of fill a little bit more time so we can get more votes, try to figure all that out so that we can tell everyone exactly what the play is. Help me fill time. Help me fill a little.
Do we not have it? I think we have it.
We have the
We
winner.
have it.
We know. Shush. I'm just filling time because I want to get as many votes as possible. So, and it also seems like we're letting everyone vote, but in actuality,
I see on the Discord
We
that
have,
it says
we have the
winner.
answer. I'm so confused.
It's called manipulation of the mind, people. You guys need to expand your brains to understand how to work these kind of votes and make people feel like they're actually voting because we have the votes in. We know what the play is.
They did vote.
It's
Shush.
over.
You guys suck at this. Let's look at the play. Let's just look at the play. All right. So here we go. It's the one I expected. It's the best one. It's the Tomio play.
Magical did actually influence the masses, I guess, because they went for this play. Now, maybe the edit didn't show how impressive Arrow's movement was in his clip. I think that's the impressive part about the Aphelios one, is how quickly your mouse has to move around to get those inputs in. Hard to really show that in the edit when we're just looking from the observer perspective. But that was still a cool play from Tomio. So happy he's able to pick up play of the week for week 4.
I think it's the creativity, right? It's the creativity of also being willing to flash over there, realizing how far extended they are. So he's got all the opportunity to flash over the wall. There was no chance for them to escape because they had flashed previously from an earlier play. So there's a lot of heads up from the skies in order to get Tomio set up like that. So, all right.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, we got to also look at our standings, looking forward, looking back, looking at how everything has been so far. We kind of were talking about this beforehand, looking at how the standings were going into week 4. Team Liquid Honda Challengers had a 5-game lead going into week 4. Now going into week 5, it is only a 2-game lead over Wildcard.
Yeah, it's been a weekend. Or that was a weekend, I should say, for TLC. It's easily the worst one they've had this split. And like you said, at the end of the first round robin, it seemed like they were just going to be miles ahead of everyone else, but teams started catching up. Wildcard gave them a resounding 0-2 to deal with at the end last week. And, well, we'll see. Coach Spawn tweeted out that they're back to the drawing board. They're going to work harder and make a bounce back. We'll see if that happens.
And fun fact, the Wildcard's playing at the same time on the other stream right now. So if TLC go 0-2 right now in this series, and then Wildcard 2-0, they'll be tied for first place. That 5-game lead will just disappear for TL, and they'll have to share that podium for now going into the final week.
Yeah, but speaking of that, let's look at the matches that we have for today so that we can tell everyone, like you said, on the other broadcast, we know that Wildcard's going to be playing at the same time. But here, we start off with Team Liquid Honda Challengers facing off against Cincinnati Fear, then Disguise up against Maryville, and rounding out the day with FlyQuest Challengers and AoE. So looking at these games, I got to ask both of you, which ones are you the most excited for? Let's start with you, Beat.
So this is interesting. This matchup is exciting for a couple reasons. TLC having a roster swap coming through here and something we probably want to talk about. And Fear, they're kind of back and forth, but this could be that opening they need.
Yeah, for me, it's that first one also. We actually even heard from some of the players here because there is the roster swap. We've teased it a couple times. So let's just talk about it, right? Harry's stepping in.
Fine. Yeah, let's get right into it. We already saw APA. We kind of knew that there was going to be the roster swap, right? APA went 2-0 on the main stage, having stepped in after day 1 of this previous week for the LCS, and looked really good in it. The Tristana Ziggs performance, he played both those champions, looked really good, but that doesn't mean that Harry, who he was stepping in for, is going to be playing here in the Challengers League, stepping down a little bit. And Harry's always been this player that we've been really hyped about, how good his performances have been in the past, and looking at how much domination he had, especially in 2022, Kangas.
Yeah, I mean, remember that he is also a 2 Chainz member. Bradley, we always talk about him as 2 Chainz. Now he's got one of those members back from the last year roster with him. Harry showed incredible potential going into LCS. And from what the tweet implies, it seems like his decision to step down. So we're wishing him the best. We'll see how he looks here. I'm not really worried for him. Beatdown, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, Harry's probably going to do just fine in this league as well.
Yeah, the big thing that might be an opening for Cincinnati Fear is just that opportunity that you have a new member coming through. They lost APA, who was an exceptional member of this team. We can't take that away from him. And now he's moved on to Team Liquid LCS. And if you guys have been catching those games, he's been doing just fine. So Team Liquid as a whole, with how they have been playing the game so far this year, it's likely not going to change very much, even with the inclusion of Harry.
Yeah, but we got to kind of look back to last week regardless, even though it is a new mid laner playing. Kangas, you put together a bit of a montage about the performance, because it's the first and only time this whole season so far that we've seen that Team Liquid Honda Challengers looked a little weak.
Look, every team's going to have a replay package like this at some point of the split. If not, then this ain't a developmental league, right? So Team Liquid usually popping off. We have a couple of instances last weekend. They lost a game at least to all 3 teams that they played against. This one, they get very aggressive. They get TP'd on. Honestly, I call that a little unlucky. What top laner is going to proxy a wave and then TP level 4 bot lane to answer your invade?
Miles?
Niles.
Only
now
Niles.
we get into this one. Also, maybe a little unlucky. This is that play of the week from Keel, by the way, that didn't make to the top 2. But he's able to get into the pit, even though Kim Down and Bradley are doing everything to keep him out, while Akaisa flies in. Len's doing a lot of damage. They're all split on the call. Some are trying to peel, some are trying to focus damage. APA's hitting the Baron. It seems like miscommunication in a high-stress situation. Again, a little unlucky. This one here against FlyQuest, they go for a hover so they can shove the wave in, and a little unlucky. Yuji's level 6 happens to be in the area as well, and then they get engaged on when it seemed like they were just kind of hovering to get that wave in. So honestly, maybe it's Cope. That was just an unlucky weekend for TL.
Hey, it could be Cope that you're having right there. But speaking of having a hot weekend, Cincinnati Fear, this team, I mean, everyone's talking about how inconsistent they are, but man, they looked so good last week, especially looking at Shochi and how he was playing the Tristana Pentakill. You guys were talking about that as something that
should have been play of the week.
Honestly, I feel like that should have at least been up there in the running. I feel like maybe people are just burnt out because there's been so many pentas, but that penta was a really good and well-earned penta for Shochi beat.
It was. He actually played that one really well, and we got to give him props to that. He had an amazing weekend overall, too, and a big part of why Fear were able to go 5-1. That last game they had against FlyQuest Challengers on Monday, where he had a huge Azir performance to really start to turn things around for this team. Fear, they have been inconsistent. Let's be real. It's usually they manage to beat teams that are below them in the standings and either take a game or end up losing to people above them in the standings. So the goal that we've been kind of hoping this team to achieve is some of that cohesion we saw from them in spring. That kind of team play, that kind of decision making that led them to basically being a top 4 team.
We're just going to have a Pentakill highlight package for them every time we see them.
Well, that's because they've had 2 of them for Perry and then Shochi.
Who gets the Pentakill today? Is it Philip? It's got to be Manui, right?
Manui.
Okay, watch Shochi.
Yeah.
Oh, the flash!
See, and then I also just like how Shochi's playing this one. It's just how he's on the edge of a lot of this. But I kind of want to bring up, you're talking about the inconsistencies when looking at Fear, but they did finally beat a team that is above them in the standings. They went with a split of 1-1 against FlyQuest Challengers, and obviously that's only one game. Right, it's hard to be like, yeah, that means it's over. The curse is over. They're not just going to be inconsistent. They could beat teams above them, but that is a start, right? You got to pick up that first win in the first place. Ooh. So looking at how maybe that could lead into today, because they're going up against Team Liquid Honda Challengers, a team that is the #1 spot, but has been struggling. And this one, Eric made a fun little graphic for everyone, especially going with the racing thing that we kind of have for week 5. Unfortunately, he's not here to introduce it, but the Agile and the Engie Cincinnati Drift, Kangas. I do like this a lot that Eric put this together.
I don't even know what it means fully, but it is cool. I'll give him that. Very, very cool.
Rule of cool. Sometimes that's enough.
I'm thinking it possibly means that this team is very versatile. They are kind of wild. They like to play very aggressively too. That's going to be my interpretation of the art here. Of course, only the artist truly knows what the meaning behind this is. We can only speculate.
We can only guess at his greatness and what his grand vision was.
Yes,
Eric, please tweet at us. What does this mean?
Or maybe say it in Twitch chat so everyone who's watching knows. Either or. Pick.
Yeah, I mean, continuing on this racing theme, we do want to kind of show everyone the expectations we had coming into the split when we were looking at a lot of these teams. And this time, we're going to let the artist himself, Kangas, actually explain what is going on here. So, Kangas, take this away.
Well, I made all the graphics for the video, so you know I got to use them again here. Before we get into draft, I wanted to quickly highlight a little point. This is, in my opinion, my expectations coming into the split as to where I thought all the teams...
Hold on, I got to criticize the art. Why do you have it where FlyQuest,
we don't have
as the
time
third
for this,
team,
Magical,
looks like they're in first, while Team Liquid is first, but they look second, then Wildcard is in second, is in the middle of the pack?
This is the expectations one. This is where I expected the teams to be.
That's like the first word he said.
The power level of them coming in. And this is actually where they end up. So you can see that the slight difference here Just barely. Really nothing different at all, right? What's going on, EG? All the way back there. Wildcard overperforming a little bit from expectations. Everyone else actually kind of right where we expected them to be. So just a little catch up as to how we thought the split was going to play out versus how it has been so far. We'll be updating that, of course, as the race to playoffs continues.
Did you change the graphic to the current, or was it only expectations the whole time?
It was expectations to current. Did you not see the changes? Was that not showing?
It did not show.
Okay, well, maybe that's on me. Maybe that's on me. Okay, here's the expectations. Here's the current. Oh, baby.
Oh, okay, it worked that time. It worked that time.
Yo,
now here's that. Okay, I have to do multiple clicks. There we go. That's why.
There we go. That's why I was so confused. I'm like, it's the same picture. It's the same
we
thing.
do a little bit of trolling. We do a little bit of trolling.
Respect.
Speaking of that, and speaking of hopefully not trolling, let's get into the draft for Game 1. We'll see if we have another pentakill for Cincinnati Fear, or if Team Liquid Honda Challengers with Harry at the helm are going to be able to pick up a 2-0. Get us into the game.
Thank you, Magical. Beatdown Pick and Ban is starting up here.
Oh.
And again, a reminder for everybody at home. If TLC drop Game 1 and the other stream Wildcard win Game 1, this second game is going to be very high pressure, high stakes, because there's a chance Wildcard could catch up to Team Liquid. And like you had highlighted, Fear have been playing upset to a lot of teams.
They have
Or
been.
at least
And
a couple.
This is our first. The thing I want to talk about zooming out here is this is our first match on patch 13.13. There've been a handful of changes that come through, but one of the big things that stand out to me is Rumble is still broken. Play him. The Vi nerf, I actually think. Oh, but it's already banned. TL, respect. They understand. It's good. The Nico nerf is actually a big one for me. Her lane is weaker now because of some of the damage reductions to her abilities, the cooldowns, and the fact that you are no longer consistently disguised till the end of your alt channel when you are pretending to be, a minion, friendly champion, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. So there's more reaction time possibilities for enemies.
More.
And the biggest thing for me is the Shiv change. Dropping that AP ratio so that now, it is just for the AD carries.
Yeah, I think so. There's if you want to talk to me about Shiv LeBlanc still being a thing, I will sit down, I will listen to you. For the moment, I'm not sold, but I will listen. Anyone else, not an AD carry, builds that champion, you're trolling. If I see that on Ari, I'm going to talk trash.
I was going to say, how about my solo queue mid lane Gragas who built it first item?
That's got to be, that's genuinely reportable. I can't. Did that actually happen to you?
It legitimately happened yesterday. But this isn't about me. This is about, of course, the teams that we see on the screen.
God.
And, okay, what did Shoshi get a pentakill on last week? But the Tristana and Team Liquid already picking that away from him. Strong in the meta, so I do like this as a general first pick for blue side. But also, it is taking away one of those comforts for Fear.
Something I will say is that I find champs like Annie, Tristana have been kind of crutch champions for some of our teams in this league so far. I don't think Fear is one of those. Chochi is a player we've seen be very versatile. He's had great performances on a lot of different champions, whether it's Ari, Gragas, Azir just in this last weekend and things like that. I think that's why Fear are very comfortable letting that one go. And the fact that neither side has banned the LeBlanc, we've kind of seen her fall to the wayside, which makes me very happy.
I still think she can be viable. The Luden's build was never bad, even when Shiv was up.
That's true.
It's just Shiv was just the more optimized one, so that's why people just went for that, because you can just clear faster. But I do still think it could work. We'll see if Shochi wants to play that into the Tristana, which we're assuming is going into the bot lane. I mean, sorry, into the mid lane, and then Arrow will pick something else. Yeah.
He has played.
But either way, it is Alistair into the rel.
Yeah, which is a common answer coming through here. Not surprised really about what we've seen so far. Kai'Sa's been a big pick. Rel has been a big pick, but actually, Team Liquid Challengers, they're going to get both the Tristana and the LeBlanc, and like I was highlighting, Arrow will be playing the Trist coming through here. Harry, this is a pretty big pick for him. He's played it a bunch in LCS. He played it a lot last year, and something we didn't really get onto into the pre-show, even though I wasn't on the broadcast last year, I watched. And TLC, during the last bit of Proving Grounds, Harry was a player who really turned it up towards the end. And Insanity being a player who's already in the LCS, doing really well, Harry was keeping up with the likes of him. So this is still a good player here for TLC.
Yeah, again, we have full expectation that Harry can slot in and perform. The question is how the team plays with a new member in the mid lane. That is a big piece to change. Mir, from my understanding at least, has never played with Harry, because since Mir came in spring, it's been with APA. But let's see how the rest of the draft wants to finish out here. As Fear lock in the Poppy to help kind of counter all the jumps, all the mobility that's on TLC's side right now. And then we'll go into the second round of bans. So Sejuani off the table. Yeah, no jungler for TLC yet. They oftentimes do like to grab those early for Mir, but it seems like they're going to have a counter pick for him.
Yeah, and it's good for Fear to be able to grab the... they want to get rid of the Sejuani. It's been such a strong pick in the jungle overall, and with what Mir usually plays, Wukong actually got nerfed a little bit on this patch too. The Vi nerf, like I was highlighting, is also a pretty big one in my opinion. So at this point, you can just ban away something from Bradley, like something like, there you go. Without the Rumble coming through here, you maybe were expecting something like the Renekton. You just want to remove that lane dominant option away.
It is the standard counter pick, so this makes me think that Fear is, or rather blind pick, so Fear's probably going to go for top lane counter pick for themselves. It's interesting. However, we won't talk about that until we see it locked in. Magical did give us a bit of information here. I don't know if you caught it. Harry is 30-12. Did I hear that right, Magical? 30-12?
That is what he said, yeah.
30-12 on LeBlanc in his career. That's a pretty good win record. And okay, it is locked in. So we got Aphelios Rel with the Kaisa mid, I assume?
Yeah, it is. So that's something I don't think we've seen Shochi play it, but we've seen other mid. Spirax actually had a good performance on it last weekend against Fear, actually. And it was a good pickup here. It is strong. The AP build is still fine, offers you a lot of poke, and this is one of the few champions that can still reasonably build static Shiv.
Ooh, but TLC round out. It's not the Rumble AP top laner, it's the Kennen, which was also buffed a few patches back. I love to see this champion locked in. Very high risk, high reward. You can be a little glass cannony, but if you get that big slicey maelstrom, you can just straight up win the team fight. And with double 80 carries, it makes it so much harder for a Kaisa to actually position, for a Aphelios to feel safe.
Yeah, right. And it's naturally we're going to see Philip go for the Gragas, something that's been really good for him in these last couple of weeks here. Bradley playing Kennen, it's very common with what TLC want to do. And you look at their comp overall, early game focus, as we often see for this team, but you do have ways to continue playing for those late games. Really good burst tools to get Mir resets here, who's playing the Viego, which I'm pretty sure we haven't seen yet this split.
I don't remember if we've seen
money on
the Viego.
that.
We've seen the Viego a few times, but
Yes.
we can check the records on that. Either way, I know that this is something that Mir was very comfortable in playing in the spring split, so he does like the carry champions when they are available. More mobility, though, that could get potentially shut down by the Poppy. So Perry's actually feeling very comfortable with this Poppy pick. I'm not sure which team I'm leaning as like a clear winner in draft right now. I'm not sure if you have a strong opinion on it yet.
Well, looking at both these teams, they both have ways that they want to be playing the game, and I think both are fine. Like, overall, I'm not gonna, like, I don't really see a draft gap on either side here. TLC is a little more early game focused, as we know a big thing for them to be. So it is important that having a bot lane like Tristana Alistar, where you can get pushed because of Tristana's passive, and things like that, is something I hope Mir is going to leverage to get leads and stacking dragons, making plays, going for invades, things like that. Fierce comp, I favor them a little more late game. And the fact that Manui and JJ both went for exhaust is pretty crazy to me. So that's going to feel terrible for Bradley to play against, because I do kind of criticize when teams don't take exhausted to Kennen. So this time they're like, oh yeah, you want to play Kennen? That's fine. Have you ever considered doing no damage ever?
Yeah, they have 4 champions that can jump in. Arrow with the rocket jump. Harry obviously distorting in. Manui and JJ just said, nope. And now the question is, will they be able to communicate effectively as to whose job it is to exhaust first? Do you think they have like a pecking order right now?
I wouldn't say a pecking order. It's likely just going to be determined by situations where they just communicate before the team fight. Or it's like, hey, I'm going to exhaust this guy, or something along those lines. So that's something usually we don't see Fear slip up on. Some teams, you know, they layer their CC a little poorly and don't get the full value of it. So I'm expecting Manui and JJ to be better with that.
I think it's JJ. I think as a support, you're probably like, okay, it's my job, man. I got you. I got your back. We'll see. We'll see if they're able to pull it off as the early game has begun. Level 1s as the waves crash against each other. Perry starting on the top jungle, answered as well by Mir. So both junglers will pass bot lane.
So, Kangas, I have a fun stat for you. And this is going to... Actually, I'm going to ask it in a question and see if you pay attention when I talk in meetings. So, a stat that I find interesting from time to time is the win rate of teams when they're ahead at 15 minutes. Do you know what TLC's win rate is if they're ahead of 15
If they're ahead
minutes.
of 15 minutes, I believe
Uh-huh.
it was 100%.
Okay, Kangas pays attention. Good for you.
I do remember this conversation. That was a cool
Yes.
stat that you brought up.
It was, and I find that very fascinating because it makes sense for these numbers to be high. Even at this level, we expect teams to be able to close out leads most of the time. But it's the high and low ends that I find very fascinating. And Team Liquid, being that early focused team, it is very impressive to me that they're able to consistently close it out when they have it literally every single time.
They are obviously a strong team at the top of the standings, but also that type of team that when they get a lead, they turn it into another lead, into a bigger lead. They just continue that snowball forward. I think it's a big part. But right now, they're actually getting put slightly behind as Perry goes for an invade. Kim down, gets a ward down. They see all three members of Fear on this red buff, but Shochi's actually zoning away Harry, so the mid lane cannot help out. Let's see if TL actually try and contest this. They're really not in a position to do so. So just through brute force, Fear walk in and take away the red buff.
It's something you give away. You give away 10 times out of 10. I mean, Fear, they had the push mid and bot. Philip will be fine. It's okay. But that's something that you have to give up 10 times out of 10. Mir can't really contest that one. You have Manui and JJ looking for the move, taking advantage, and they're even walking respectfully all the way around to catch the wave that TLC is going with. The sad thing about Tristana, you can't exactly slow push. Shochi!
Oh!
He thought he landed
Harry
the Prey
says, all
Seeker.
right, I see what you're trying to do, but how about I just kill you instead?
He really thought he was going to land the Prey Seeker there, and if he did, it would have been the hypest play. But unfortunately, Shochi isn't able to make that one work. I respect
Can you buffer
that he
it?
went for it.
Can you W buffer with a flash? I think it looked like he was trying to flash to reposition to have it hit. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not sure how
maybe-
that mechanic works.
Me neither. But either way, Shochi, swing and a miss, unfortunately. But lane is by no means over. Remember, both of these players are trying to rush to that static shiv. And although
We're
it's
still going.
an okay spike for Harry, it's really a big one for Shochi, since Kaisa benefits from all the stats so much more.
Yeah, I like it way more on Kaisa. Okay, so let's get another look at this. Yeah, that might be
it
a
is the
ping
buffer.
diff.
I
I
think
mean,
you're
we're on
right.
Chicago servers now. That's one of those instances where if you have perfect ping, maybe you pull that off.
Maybe. Maybe. That's okay. Gonna give Harry a little bit of an advantage, but ultimately, we'll see what he's going to be able to do with it. If you look across the board, Dragon number 1 is up. Mir is pathing in that direction. They could take this opportunity with Manui and JJ on a recall to go ahead and start this one up, but it'll be tough here. They have a ward on his Raptors. They're going to know where Mir is roughly, and they should have this opportunity to... move down bot side and try to deny this first.
Right now, it's Team Liquid with that control of the access point. Perry went for a reset, has the bombies. But we got a play happening mid. We're on to Shochi. Flash engage. He ults underneath the turret, but can't get out. Arrow benefits with the kill.
The big thing there is the ethereal chains getting the root. Otherwise, Shochi might have made it out there. Really good move from TLC. Punished the fact that Shochi, had just flashed and died. Now he's going to lose even more as you see Harry shove this wave into the mid lane. That first blood going over Kangas, not as big a deal. But this second one going over, now this starts to hurt a little bit more as Shochi and the rest of Fear.
I mean, this is brutal, because now the wave gets shoved in. You don't have TP to make it back. We're only just now arriving, and you are 16 CS down. Essentially 2.5 waves of XP and gold that Harry's picked up that you do not have. And now we have the Dragon started up actually by Fear. They're not going to commit to it, though. They're just trying to bait in members of TL. No flash for Kim down. How hard do they want to focus the Alistair? There we go. Take down the cow. Easy pickup for Fear.
I like that move, actually, from Fear, because I wouldn't have liked the idea of them going for the Drake right away. They just wouldn't really have the advantage, but they use that expectation to bait Kim down into a brush, and now they get to have the Dragon as well. So they can go ahead and get the stacking going, and that first Mountain Drake will get them that little tiny extra bit of tankiness as well.
And I have another stat here from Magical, actually. Thanks for throwing these our way, Magical. This is the most work one of our hosts has done behind the scenes during a game.
You're kind of telling on
Kaisa is
yourself.
Shochi's 17th unique champion in 25 games.
That is pretty
This is the
crazy.
25th game, 17th champion. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think Shoji, this is what we talk about. He's that kind of player where he plays a lot of different stuff. And he's a big part of Fear's success these last couple of weeks. Whatever champion you put him on realistically. And he'll still have opportunities to have impact on this game. He's just going to need to catch up a little bit, King. It says the early game has not treated him well. We're seeing Mir also go for an invade here. You can actually see them take advantage of the fact that Bradley has had perma-prio on this top side. He's kind of running Philip in this matchup if you look at the gold differences coming through here, and it's allowed Mir to steal so much, the entire top side of Perry's jungle.
Yeah, I mean, it's been oppressive from Bradley shoving in. Philip went for a big play there, trying to get him under turret. Now, with Mir here, okay, he gets out. He's fine. But the explosive cast got clipped on the wall, so Bradley didn't get pulled over under the turret. That actually could have been flash out of Bradley, would have been really smooth from Philip. Unfortunate that it didn't work out, but you're right. He's struggling now, down also about 3 waves of CS. TLC are doing a fantastic job in their solo lanes.
Oh, this is a good move. Basically, that attempt needed to happen so Fear could have any chance at the Rift Herald. But this cover is also really good. Harry moving down instead of answering the crashing wave mid to cover for Arrow because the dive was the only thing Fear could actually go for while the Herald is being taken there. So now Mir has it. TLC really wisely also deny the response from Fear.
We get resets now from Fear. They didn't commit to the dive. They instead just go back, and Harry's mid-wave's actually just right dead center, so he doesn't even miss out much, just the melee minions. I believe Shochi also missed out on that. Shochi now has the flash, still doesn't have TP, so ideally... Actually, I don't even know how the Kai'Sa matchup works. Maybe you do still want to fight. Like, depending on the matchup, it can always change if you want to try and push, get aggressive, or just farm up and try and hit an item spike. Again, this is where when you have 17 unique champs in 25 games, sometimes even the players are like, how does this matchup go?
No, I'm sure Shochi knows. The thing now is that Harry is sitting on a lot of gold. Shochi, after already dying twice, doesn't want to try and go for something there because he is they're even on items. So he just wants to let that go. He wants to farm. You don't want to take any more risks like that in the 1v1 once you've lost as much as he has, unless you know for sure that that play is going to work out. So instead, he lets him back. He gets the push, which is giving him this opportunity to go for a move.
Yeah, you can get on the map, but won't find anything for it. And now, you didn't take the fight when you were matching items with Bradley. Ooh, that landed. Maybe we go for an all under turret. But the fact that Shochi didn't take a 1v1 there means that now the item disparity is much bigger. Harry has completed the static shiv alongside a dark seal. So this shove from LeBlanc is going to be way, way faster. You can get that wave, get onto the map quicker than the Kai'Sa can.
Yeah, that's right. So the wave clear, it's not going to be as great as it was before, but it's still going to be a good bit. The thing I noticed, Harry, it looked like he didn't take minion dematerializer, which is what a lot of people are doing now. If you use all 3 on the caster minions, you do that extra damage from your static shiv proc. But either way, Harry's still going to have that wave clear that you're referencing there. And Shochi, for what it's worth, he's kind of caught up. He has the static shiv as well. The big difference there is that Harry just has the magical focus.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch that Shochi was able to get off that back with the static shiv. You don't want to be on the map in the 1v1 like this without it for too long. Now, with Perry's help, they're back onto Harry. Shochi in trouble, though, yet again. Mir's joined in. Now JJ. Oh, the flash! Headbutt denied by Perry. Harry jumps back onto Shochi. Will claim the assassination. 1-for-1 trade for now. JJ pulls him back in. Perry's got enough damage here with the headbutt himself, and will pick up another kill on the killing spree.
Wow, nice response there from Fear. They are going to get the 2-for-1. And Bradley knows he can just continue pressuring Philip here. Now, he isn't going to go for the all-in that you're talking about. He just wants to keep the pressure up. But Fear rather, they did need something like that to go their way. Although it is a lot of gold on the Poppy, who isn't my favorite target when I look at Fear's composition, Kangas. I'm looking at Shochi. I'm looking at Manui. That's where gold needs to be. And TLC, they're getting gold in all the right places. Arrow's got kills, Harry's got kills, and Bradley may not have them, but he's gotten so much plates at a huge lead.
Let's get another look at this here, as Perry just barely doesn't get the stun into the wall. If you land that, or at least it didn't look like he did.
And the steadfast presence right here is the big thing there. He pops it up. It's got to have been for Kim down because he could see them from Shochi's vision. Still, Harry was able to find a kill on the exit, but that nice play managed to allow Fear to force Harry in this position where they get a kill.
Well played by Perry with 3 kills in his pocket now. We come back to live there on Dragon, and I'm going to change my bet. It's no longer Manu getting the Penta this game. It's Perry. I think we get the legendary Poppy Penta. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of double alliteration, so that alone has me sold. I would like to see Perry get another Penta kill on this champion. But for now...
he already has one. Right.
It would be another. So I
guess does need to be a different one. Okay, sorry, Perry. Can't be you this time. Yeah, that's just greedy.
Aphelios Penta would go crazy, though, no?
True! That would be great, Bradley. Creating his ult, getting damage onto Philip, and Flash as well as the explosive cask was used off camera. Also, quick note, Bradley as well taking the static shiv, so Team Liquid solo laners are going to be able to shove these waves very fast, even though it was nerfed with the AP ratios, still does help with wave clear. It is odd to see 3 in the game on this patch, but you know what? It is what it is. JJ engaged on in his own jungle here. Magnet Storm used. Kim down taking a lot of damage as the Moonlight Vigil comes out from Manui. And they're keeping their support alive. Turning the play, taking down Mir. Kim down will fall. Double kill to Manui. And they will look for more, trying to chase down Harry away from the play. The LeBlanc very low. They're taking the Hex Gates. Harry's hunting.
Oh, Arrow doesn't have Flash. He isn't going to find what he's looking for. Instead, he's going to take his consolation prize on top of everything they've earned with the Krugs. You might be wondering, we are making a lot of these plays. They're getting these kills, but TLC's gold lead continues to grow. And it's a wonderful question. Random hypothetical person I just made up. It's because Bradley is smashing this top lane matchup. He got all 5 plays solo. First red bonus gold. This gold difference between top laners is ridiculous. And if Manui and JJ must have seen the future here with that double exhaust build, because it's going to come in handy.
True. They will need that. Let's get another look at this replay here. It's Team Liquid getting aggressive and getting punished.
A lot of damage came through, and props to JJ before walking away from this one. Not only did he survive, but he got a lot of CC down with the ultimate, with the Pharaohmancy crash down, allowing Manui to just stack up the chakrams. Arrow has to flash away as a result.
And also, Perry hitting that Poppy ultimate onto both members. Mir could not get the kill onto JJ. If you get that 1 kill and reset, that play goes to Team Liquid.
The exhaust
game clutch. Hold on.
Now
on the Herald.
Look, items, not great for Fear. Oh,
that's a teleport from Bradley. He's got Flash and ultimate. Perry is for sure going down. Will be the sacrificial lamb as he tries to buy as much time as possible. Mir credited with the kill, and Team Liquid will start up the Herald.
Really nice teleport there from Bradley. It will give Philip some extra time on the bottom side, but that's just crumbs compared to what Bradley has earned and what he just earned for TLC. So that's going to be 2 Heralds in a row for Mir. He's going to be able to drop this next one wherever he pleases. Mid-turret is where I'm imagining he's set his sights on. It's already so low, and it will be an easy way to get to the Drake first, so Fear do not pick up their soul point.
2 minutes until that Dragon. We'll see how Team Liquid want to use the Herald, if they hold it in the pocket for as long as possible as that distraction technique like you mentioned, or if they just want to use it to get the gold now so that they can use that gold in the eventual fight. They got a lot of gold already though, so they're pretty comfortable with that department.
A lot of that is Bradley.
True.
So if they somehow kill Bradley,
with the static shiv build, you can shove the waves, you're better in the 1v1, but you're not going to be doing as much burst damage with that ultimate.
No, not really. It's going to be a while till Bradley really gets to that point where Kennen will absolutely decimate 80 carries. But he's still going to be a big CC threat. He's still going to be a good all-in tool with the rest of Team Liquid Challengers, and they have plenty of damage elsewhere. So I think it's fine for the moment here as Philip.
Oh, Bradley didn't actually need to slice a Maelstrom, but I guess he'll just do it and get out either way. He doesn't even go down. Oh, it's not getting easier for Philip in the side lane as Harry, trades with Shochi there. Heavily winning that trade.
I gotta say, I'm not sure if I like Bradley actually going for that kill. Yeah, it gives you an opening to drop this Herald, but now that's a big ultimate, a big teamfight tool for TLC that won't be available for this Dragon fight. Fear now have to feel good about their ability to do this on spawn, especially because Philip, he's gonna be back on the map in a couple of seconds.
We'll see if Fear have the confidence to go for it, though. Sometimes those type of plays will shake you, and then you don't want to go for the big plays afterwards. Bradley's going for a reset, though, so not only will Slice and Maelstrom be down when Dragon spawns, but they won't even have the Kennen on the map when Dragon spawns. Team Liquid are a little behind, actually, 10 seconds, and they also have Arrow resetting. There is actually a window here where Fear could rush this.
Yeah, very much so. It's clearly what they're looking for, as we see Harry teleporting to the bottom side as well. But they are being cautious. They don't have all the information. They want to shadow Minui while he shoves this mid wave first, so that Fear get the opportunity to move in and start the Drake. Bradley shouldn't have ult, so this should still be a pretty decent team fighting chance here. JJ and Minui both have their exhausts up, so they have a decent shot at denying Mir his first reset.
You called it. With no Cannon ultimate, Fear, despite being down in gold, have the confidence to go for the fight. Let's see how they want to position. Fear are clumped up, but Team Liquid are making their job pretty difficult to walk forward. Minui's getting really good poke damage onto Bradley right there to start it off. Harry needs to position more forward. I'd love for Harry to actually go up into the river here and start threatening Minui, because right now nobody's on Minui. Philip jumps in. They got Bradley. And now Harry looks for Minui. Gets hit immediately by Perry. Harry gets the dragon. Fear are just taking everything in the river. Flashing the wall. Perry looks for one more. They got Kim down. And Cincinnati Fear make it happen.
This couldn't have gone better for Cincinnati Fear. They get the fight. 2 kills in their favor, and they get the soul point on the strongest soul this game has, the Hex Tech Soul. This couldn't be going better here, and we're going to see it again. Bradley is getting poked out because what does he have to offer here? When you know that Slicing Maelstrom isn't there, so as soon as he's on his screen, Philip gets that sweet catharsis that he so desperately wanted. And Mir, he missed the smite, giving Perry that opportunity. 1 health, the tiniest of errors, but it was enough to give Fear everything they could have hoped for.
And to their credit, I think Kim Down and Arrow actually played that fairly well. They were able to get on top of Shochi, but they just didn't have the damage because Arrow's not the fed one. Arrow's not the one packing all the items. That's instead Bradley, that's instead Harry, and they were unfortunately not able to do any damage in that fight. Fear played goalie, kept Minui in a very comfortable spot. They didn't even use Minui's exhaust, by the way. And now we have Dragon Soul point for Cincinnati Fear. In 3.5 minutes time, TLC are going to have a much better setup for that play. And I do agree with you. I mean, it really came down to Bradley using the ultimate under turret like you had highlighted.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that tool.
So at this point in the game, this is by no means doom and gloom here for TLC. Remember, they're still up 4,000 gold. The big thing for them is just that whether or not they're going to be able to deny that next Drake from coming through, because those... Oh, hold on a second.
Here's here, Arrow's here, but everyone from Fear, as teleports are coming in. They got onto Minui. The AD carry's in trouble. Flashes away. Moonlight Vigil doing the damage that he can, but Bradley makes it this time and has the slicing Maelstrom. So that's the AD carry down. Shochi should fall as well. Flash from Arrow will secure that kill. And Team Liquid are right onto the Baron on spawn.
Fear really felt good about their chances in that team fight, but Bradley, they underestimated what he is able to do when he has ult up and when Minui's forced to exhaust someone else. TLC, they get the Baron and they are right back in control of this game. It should be guaranteed now that they deny Fear their soul in 2 minutes time.
Yeah, Fear got a little overconfident after the last play. They think they have a pick. It's the tankiest member in Alistair with ultimate. You're not going to kill that cow fast. And now the Turo Baron buff is earned for Team Liquid Honda Challenger. As we get another replay here. Yeah, they just go on to the Alistair.
It's the fact that you know not everybody is here, and you hope that you blow out Alistar as quickly as you can. Then you can start moving on to other members here and get yourself a potential Baron. But they underestimate how tanky that Unbreakable will makes Kim down. And it was enough time for not only him to survive the entire exchange, but for the rest of Team Liquid to swoop in and secure that Baron buff.
What can Team Liquid get done with this now? Like you had said, they're by no means out of this game. They had the gold lead in their control despite losing that dragon fight. Now they have a massive gold lead with the Baron push. They're sieging mid, they're sieging bot. Fear trying to answer both sides.
Right, and remember the biggest difference there by a country mile. Oh, hold on.
Oh!
Wow!
That was a barrel, Philip! And it not only gets one, it gets two! Snipes Arrow, Mir too far forward afterwards and goes down as well. Fear! Oh, what a turnaround from Philip after the laning phase went so poorly. They'll even get Kim down. 3 members is a lot to work with on the Rift.
Oh, I love it. They're giving some
that
gold
one,
over to... Yeah, he needed that one. And what I was trying to get to before this happened is that Philip is the big deficit on Fear at the moment here. But he still has tools He still has CC to play with, and that's the angle. They
Tell
know
him that.
Arrow has no flash, and he's like, oh, this Gragas sucks. No way he can touch me. Joke's on you. You're still an 80 carry, Arrow, and he gets blown up, giving much-needed breathing room here to Fear on the map. You still have Baron as TLC. You still have 2 static shivs going here, so you're not going to fully lose control, but that's a lot of shutdown gold picked up by members of Fear. Shoti is getting close to that Ludens, which means that W poke is going to be unreal.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Right at the beginning of the W animation, too, so you can actually prevent the rocket jump if it's not already being cast. That was nice.
Yeah. Really good. And I will say, one of my big criticisms of Fear is that sometimes they go for fights that they shouldn't. It comes from this immense confidence that they have in their ability to team fight, and I will say that confidence is earned. For better or worse, this is how they play the game, and it's earned them one of their best shots to pick up this Dragon Soul. Watch Philip.
Dragon Soul fight. Bradley's on the flank. Harry as well. I don't know if they see the LeBlanc. Manui's got to play carefully. Shoji jumps on Bradley! He got him! As Manui does not get blown up by Harry, so Fear have a 5v4. How did they catch the Kennen? That is huge. 2 fights in a row for the Dragon. Team Liquid do not have a Kennen ultimate, and Fear have secured the Dragon Soul.
Dude, Bradley severely underestimating the damage of that AP Kaisa. The pop from those plasma stacks is disgusting with the amount of AP Shoti has. You get rid of the biggest team fight tool TLC have, and it's easy for Fear to pick up the soul. They got a big buff that helps offset the deficit that they're in, and it's clear they're in a good position.
All right, Philip will get punished here as he's unfortunately focused. Team Liquid didn't have many places to look for, but they can look for an overextended solo laner. But you're still happy with the soul. I mean, you're down in gold, but that can kind of help make up the difference.
Oh, for sure. And I want to take a look at the gold lead again. Remember, 5,000. That looks like a lot on paper. Oh, hold on.
Okay, rooted, Moonlight Vigil, damage.
Oh, Manui.
If that's 3 item, that is a dead Tristana, and the Hex Soul actually slows him so that the Phraseeker can land Void Seeker from Shochi. Now they get Kim down as well. Team Liquid are falling apart at the seed. Fear run these streets, and they're gonna run this wave in to take their first turret of the game.
Remember, Kangas, TLC, this would be their first loss. After having a lead at 15 minutes, before this series, they were at 100%. Our best early game team, seeming like they might be toppled in the late game.
Oh, he landed. Oh, they got him. Harry has to flash.
Oh, we got him.
And a shutdown. Oh, Shochi beautifully angled W. So that even when Harry distorts back to it, he still gets sniped. And they take a second turret. Fear are going to get back into this game. They are closing the gold gap. And Team Liquid, how are they losing hold of this?
It's good gameplay, and again, this lead that TL had, it's not as bad as you think it is, especially when they're making plays away from Bradley, who was a vast majority of said lead. And it's also the fact that Shochi, despite dying twice in lane, is having an amazing game on this Kaisa. This immutable confidence that is not only present in him, but also in Cincinnati Fear as a whole is why they are making this comeback, Kangas. It's why they have the soul. It's why they are setting up for this next Baron, and it's why they are in a good spot to win this game 1.
Makes me wonder what the communication's sounding like. We've heard a few behind-the-scene comms from Fear, how fun they have together, how high the energy always is, win or lose. Tough moments, positive moments, doesn't matter. Team Liquid with a new member coming in the mid lane. I'm wondering how they're communicating right now, how they're trying to set it up, because the game's not out of their control yet. They're losing control of it, but they do still have things to play through. Bradley in particular is still very strong. He will get another turret. It seems to be where Team Liquid are putting their focus right now.
Remember, you see it, despite the fact that Philip has not been a problem for Bradley in any way, shape, or form, Bradley is building towards that Banshee's Veil. He needs that bit of MR to do something here, and now, with the amount of vision cleared up, there isn't a good TP ward here for Philip, but in fact, there is in the tri-bush. Watch for the
Kennen. In the bush. Bradley's here, Mirror's over the wall as well. They're gonna get onto Shochi. Big slicing maelstrom from Bradley, and Harry with the damage on top gets a triple kill. 1 over to Bradley, and Team Liquid Honda Challengers sweep the fight at Baron.
There was a flank ward, and they took advantage of it perfectly. Again, we're just seeing time and time again. Is Bradley there? Can he find the ult? That is the entire deciding factor on whether or not TLC win a team fight, and now Fear, they bit off more than they could chew. These are long spawn timers. TLC could close the game.
Okay, 15 seconds on Manui. They don't have Baron buff to shove in. They could probably get a Nexus turret before everyone spawns. Perry's jumping onto the wave, trying to stop it from getting in here. Team Liquid say, we're ignoring him. Tristana damage to turrets, to structures is too strong, but the minions have spawned. So members of Fear, they got Mir, they got Kim down. Perry's saving the game as Arrow can't get through the gate. Fear hold the line and they'll claim 3.
Not only hold the line, they might be able to push it, Kangas, because now AD carry, jungle, support, all out of the picture for TLC. And once they find Bradley, maybe they just go straight for the Baron. That could be a big chunk of gold in their pocket. That could set them up perfectly.
I love this from Harry.
Dragon in a minute 40. Yeah, he's got to do this.
Yeah, the play fell apart earlier. Fear are going to be on the Baron now, and they're a little unsure of how they want to approach this. Channeling backs, they stop them. Harry's still looking onto Philip, who's trying to hold the line himself. Perry's got 10 seconds till he's up.
Bradley
Team Liquid are going to claim Philip. No, the explosive cast keeps him alive, and another Turo Baron buff to Fear. Second Baron of the game. Team Liquid don't even take down the middle inhibitor on the way out, so they're not building themselves more pressure on the map.
All right. Kangas, 1 minute till the Elder Drake. This is where game 1 is going to be decided. Remember, Bradley has been a big decider in these team fights, and this is the perfect example.
Yeah.
He's got the ult, he's got the flash. Both exhausts actually came out. I didn't quite see who it was actually on. There it is. It was a little late, but Manui looked like tossed it onto the cannon. And as soon as that ult came through, it was over. We knew this fight was going to go for TLC, but Perry is the MVP.
This is
if
incredible.
Fear managed to hold this game. He holds the entire wave. He's so tanky, and they actually take too much turret damage here. Not only that, Perry sees the opportunity, flashes to kill Mir. Excellent decision making, and something I've praised Perry so much about in his gameplay.
Yeah, Mir was taking turret, but we're back to live. Very high pressure moment. 18 seconds till Elder Dragon, and we're going for the fight. Kim down, very far forward. He's tanky, but everyone from Team Liquid are just leaving him to die. They say that's not our fight. We don't have Bradley, so they don't have the Alistair for the Elder Soul fight. It's going to have to be an insane flank from Bradley, but even he doesn't have flash. He's just focused on the wave.
Oh, wow. So they're going to back this one up because two members here, the soul laners, are going for the inhibitor. Wow!
That soul damage is insane! Bradley might trade onto Philip, but he's going to go down as well. Team Liquid lose their solo laners. Much more impactful than just the support. I actually really like that call from Fear to say, you know what, picking the Alistair is cool, but we can actually take a fight and then guarantee the Elder Dragon unless Mir can steal. He's in the area.
There's literally zero chance. That
Hail Mary?
Oh.
All right, Mir, can you do it? Gets awarded. He sees it. Mir! With the Heartbreaker Elder Dragon steal keeps TLC in the game.
That was all they needed. A miracle steal from Mir to keep TLC into this one. Now they are in a good position to potentially end the game themselves. They still have pushing waves, and Mir, the timing, as soon as he came in. Oh my God. Oh
this is my favorite game of the split so far, Pete. This is incredible. The #1 team in the standings at the start of Week 5 is getting pushed to the limit by Cincinnati Fear, the Miracle Squad from Spring, having a better second round robin, starting to take games off of teams above them in the standings. But they got to work a little harder because TLC are not ready to let this game go yet.
Right, and this would have been such a big win for Fear. We talked about their 5-1 weekend last week, Kangas, but kind of like the conversation we were having, it wasn't their strongest opponents here. It was Taco, EGC, who are still struggling, and FlyQuest, who they managed to take only one game off of.
Yep.
Getting a clutch win like this against TLC, especially after everything that's happened in this game 1, would be a statement victory for them here. But it's TLC who still have the Elder Drake because of the miraculous steal from their jungler.
It's 32 minutes into the game, and we've had more action than 3 LCS games from this last week. Look at this gameplay, everybody. You gotta love how much effort these teams, these players are putting into this one. Fears still have to hold off the defense of their base. They have one Nexus turret left alive. Everything else, save for their inhibitors, is gone. And that means Team Liquid have a lot of different angles they can look to. They're just trying to pull Fear around the rift right now. Bradley shoving bot. Now everyone else is grouping top. And Fear are just playing turtle. They're just defending.
After their top inhibitor has respawned, and Philip is now getting to this point where he's got some stats going for him. He's got some extra health. He's got some armor. That's stasis from the Zanyas. So we could see a potential for a more aggressive play. Another thing to point out, Elder Dragon buff, it's about to expire, so that doesn't matter anymore. Harry and Bradley have their teleports there, and that's the thing to watch out for. Wouldn't be surprised if TLC go for a deep teleport play to try and close the game out. That's why you see them keeping the map pushed in here onto TLC's side. That's why they're making it so that they have several opportunities to go for something crazy like that. Even a bunch of pink wards in Fear's bottom side jungle.
Going up against a Gragas, a Poppy, a Rel, it's hard to force the fight in the enemy base.
Yep.
So I think Team Liquid were using the Elder instead. They said, let's just use it to get control of the side lanes. A minute till Baron now. Get your resets off. Spend all of your money. We got stopwatch on only Mirror. That's the only one that I saw here is the gold graph showing that Team Liquid are still in the lead, technically.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a landscape here looking at the gold graph, but the big difference, again, it's Bradley, someone who Fear have been very good at blowing up at every opportunity, whether it's a snipe from the Prey Seeker into an immediate killer instinct from Shochi, who's second in gold, catching up, by the way, or something along those lines. Bradley is the key to TLC's team fight. And if Fear take him out of the picture, or if they focus someone like him down, who they have caught out a couple times this game, that's their ticket to win. TLC, they just need one good fight, and they will close it out.
How about a flash?
Pretty good.
Picked up for free, basically, there. They saw Bradley shoving the top wave, so they said there's no cannon here.
Yeah.
That's bold still, because teleport flanking wards were potentially available, but either way, nobody goes for the fight. We got Baron spawning in 5 seconds. That's going to be the magnet for action.
The scary thing, too, as members of TLC, you're wondering about where... Oh, hold on a second. This damage. Oh, Harry!
Philip and Harry exchanging dancing moves against each other right there. That was fun.
That was fun. Nobody gets taken down, so everything is nice and chill. The big thing for me, though, is Shochi, the way he's playing... Oh, no.
Oh, the minion wave. It gets there just in time, so the Void Seeker doesn't land, and Harry will get away.
Wow. Unreal. And this is what you have to worry about as the side laners of TLC. Not only do these Prey Seekers do unspeakable, disgusting levels of damage, Kangas, they also give a long-range way for Shochi to be able to just all-in you. 1v1, he doesn't lose to anybody in the game. It doesn't matter at this point. He's so strong, he does so much damage, and the fact that he can chunk you for half your health before forcing a 1v1 from a million screens away is what makes it so scary.
You see Fear hanging out around the access point to the top river. But as they're doing that, the Baron was delayed. Nobody went for it right away.
I like that.
And the Elder Dragon spawning in 50 seconds, so now there's going to be 2 big objectives on the map. We got Death Cap for Bradley, Death Cap for Shochi, huge. Full build for the mid lane Kaisa, by the way, as well as the top lane.
Dude, Shochi's W's, they're going to be ridiculous. The amount...
Yep.
He's just going to be able to spam them as long as he keeps landing them. And Harry, he's hoping he can get a pick out, but isn't really anything that he can go for. So it's going to be an immediate
JJ actually took the... I'm blanking on the items right now.
Anathema's
Chain. There we go, and actually got it off in the combo, so doesn't take too much damage. Okay, well, Harry just gets a kill onto Philip in the side lane with the help of Bradley. That's going to make things very complicated for Fear now. They got to get back and hold the base.
Watch Shochi. It's a lot of damage here. Oh, this could be a kill.
Okay, Shochi's doing it. Harry in trouble. Manui's there as well. They trade kill back.
That's good.
Harry picked off. Team Liquid will get the Baron, but Fear now equalize the kills. Philip will be up earlier with the teleport. Do they want to push for more? They're going for Bradley now. JJ on the chase. Flashes in. Magnet Storm got onto Bradley. He's locked down by Perry. And with Shochi's damage on top,
they got a recall.
A massive shutdown for Fear as they're right on the Elder Dragon.
They need to get off it, though. Someone has to teleport. It's going to be Shochi. This is a 1 versus 3, though. He's in a lot of trouble.
Okay. Shochi's going to have to hold the line against 3, but they have no minion wave. Team Liquid, do they go for the end? Kim Down can walk up a tank turret. But they hesitate, so instead they're just going to go for the inhibitors.
Shochi does a lot.
Yeah, massive damage. Mir's got to get out of there. Okay.
They have Elder.
Barely escapes. Kim Down will be the sacrificial lamb just to claim 2 inhibitors.
Look, Philip has teleported in. They're going to chase these kills down. If they ace, they win.
Mir's down! He's into the stasis, but surely he falls, flashes the wall,
There it
and
is.
the Void Seeker will claim him. Shochi gets the kill, and Fear get a second Elder Dragon.
Dude, the big thing here, Fear is, oh, look at Manui. He's got red and white. He's not afraid to 1v1 anybody here. He's just going to go ahead and try to take this turret. Shochi abstains from the recall. They realize they could look to close it out, but look at the minimap. Arrow, he's trying to go for a base race here. He still technically has the Turo Barret buff.
We'll see if he makes it. No, he's not going to continue, but neither will Fear. They will just take the inhibitor. Manui with Maw. Yeah, there's not a lot that Harry can do to actually one-shot him. Maw and Bloodthirster shield. A little too much for LeBlanc to get through. And even though Arrow was looking for a potential sneaky backdoor to at least go for that third inhibitor, will not get it. So Fear have denied the double super minions. That should be enough now. It's their first Elder Dragon, because it was back
stolen.
to the initial one, it was stolen. This time around, they earned it. And with that and the Dragon Soul, that is a brutal combo.
And right now, yeah, this Elder Dragon, so dangerous. All it takes is one good play here. Like I said before, TLC, it's going to be a backdoor that ends the game at this point if they are going to be the ones to get the win. Fear are too strong. This Kai'Sa is ridiculous in terms of damage, and there aren't many angles for Bradley to go for these plays anymore.
Yeah.
Manui even opting into that Guardian's Angel there at the end. Full bought it. I mean, the stopwatch would have been super valuable in my opinion, but either way, if he lives through that regeneration, could still turn out to be very valuable here.
We also have Banshee's Veil on Shochi, so between Guardian's Angel and Banshee's Veil, the carries are relatively safe from a Kennen flank. It's going to have to be Harry and Bradley, if they go for the fight, you know, working in tandem together. The goal is to get the resets. With the reset on Tristana, with reset on Viego, you can run a fight if you just get that one kill. So right now, Fear are itemizing, don't give them that one kill. We got Zonia's on the Gragas. We got everybody else pretty tanky and having their defensive items. If Fear play this one out cleanly, they can take the game against Team Liquid. Gold is dead even, but we're in the late game, so that barely even matters now.
Yeah, everybody's getting to their full builds, essentially, especially all the players who matter. Arrow, instead of the GA, is opting for the stopwatch. He will have that 2 seconds of stasis to crucially buy time into the late game. It's worth pointing out, most of the fights Fear start are ones that most of the fights that Fear win are the ones that they start Kangas. They catch someone out. They see an angle, whether it's him down out of position, Shochi landing a Prey Seeker and able to assist the side laner in all innings. And that's what Fear are looking to continue to do. That's why Kim down, Mir, everyone trying to focus vision on this bottom side. Hope you can get a pick or set yourself up for that backdoor I was alluding to.
Team Liquid have the setup around the bottom jungle. There's really nothing to fight for right now. Both teams are just testing each other. And who's got more metal? Right now, Team Liquid will back off as they're still playing with the LeBlanc and the Kennen as kind of solo units.
Yeah.
They're not grouping up with the team or looking for the big flanks for plays unless the objectives are up. And we don't have the 4th Baron until a minute and 40 seconds from now. This gives Fear a lot of time to catch these waves, let their inhibitors come back up. If you're side laners, your one goal, your one mission is do not get caught out right now, because at this late of a game with this long of death timers, that could mean the end of the game for your team.
That's right. Something I'll note that we don't get to see very often. We're at a point in the game where, look at JJ. He's level 16. As far as supports go, that's not very common, as I'm sure you as a support player would know, has access to that level 3 Magnet Storm. So not only cool down a little lower, he's going to be able to spam that thing.
I think the highest level I've ever gotten as support was when I went Hullbreaker Pantheon support. That was a fun time.
What level were you?
I was 18. I did hit max level on that one. Did not help my team very much, but, you know.
I mean, Pantheon support's kind of like that, so.
Yeah, often. But, you know what? I will say that a Rel at level 16 with a stopwatch, a little more helpful for the team. I think that JJ could be the big playmaker for Fear here. If we're looking for somebody on both teams to be that one to go in, we're looking at Bradley. Philip being the one looked at here as he dodges out on the Heartbreaker. Mir slowed down. Shochi in there. They're going to get Mir.
Oh,
They got
Shochi.
Guardian Angel off of the Viego. Bradley will try and take an inhibitor in the bot lane, but Mir is claimed. That's a jungler down.
Teleport, double teleports into the base.
Oh,
It's
teleport
just
comes in from
Manui.
Harry. They're trying to lock him down. They got Manui. Manui's going to fall. No, he's still alive. How is Manui living? Let's take a look at the base. What's going on there? Teleport coming in from Philip. Manui somehow
His
lived through
life
all
steal.
of the onslaught of Harry and Bradley. And now Harry with the Hex Gate.
Oh,
He
they
can't
got
get
him.
out. Perry stopped it. It was interrupted. And they have the damage, so Harry will go down. Manui gets another kill. Philip catches Kim down. And these death timers are so long for TL. Can Fear just push in the waves and end the game?
It's possible. Bradley is the only one left. No slicing Maelstrom to speak of. And I think they're just going to run it down mid. You don't have supers pushing against you anymore. So now it means that TLC, they might be done here. We might have a base race. Remember, Bradley held his teleport.
Harry's
now
still
he's
there.
used it.
Perry's still there, though, so Bradley's going to have to 1v1 the Poppy as Perry will
He's
try and
big,
catch
too.
the wave. And they have Phillips' help. This is it.
That's it.
Fear have no
Oh my
one stopping
God.
them push the base, and they will claim the Nexus. Cincinnati Fear take game 1 against Team Liquid Honda Challengers.
Angus, there is so much to talk about. This entire game, I wouldn't even know where to tell you. Perry's miracle base defense, Mir's miraculous Elder Steel, so
Yep.
much happening back and forth, but we gotta give props to Fear. Again, that immutable confidence, no matter what the situation they're in, when they see a fight that they think they could win, they full send it, and it's what got them back after what was a little bit of a tough early game.
And a rough weekend last week for Team Liquid Honda Challengers. They lose game 1 here. Depending on how the other stream is going, if Wildcard picked up their first win, this next game could be pivotal for the standings here in week 5. So we're going to send it over to a short break, check how things were going on over there, and we'll be right back with Magical and the Rally Cry halftime show. Oh, look at that flexibility.
I just touched it.
We all need Ethan to say, let's go.
Hey, hype it up.
Yep, let's go. Can you hype up? Let's go.
Dude, this is a sick jacket, by the way. Do all of you have this?
I wanted it.
Yeah, let's get some shots of it. Oh, wait, that's sick. We doing dance moves now?
Yeah, Fortnite.
Well, okay, let's see him.
Oh, no. I don't do that. APA does them.
I'm waiting for it.
There, you got it?
You should ask him to do the orange justice in his helmet. You need to put on
APA's finally joined us. He had to go grab his Challengers League helmet.
He had us all. I gotta make space.
All right, let's see it.
You ready for the tour?
We are Team Liquid Honda. This is AWF Tour.
Can you guys please bring Champions Key back? I need it.
He says, wearing the helmet. All right, APA is going to show us to the monster fridge.
Let's go APA.
Okay, let's be honest. How much monster does everyone drink?
At least one a day. Yeah.
At least one a day. Okay, honestly, that's not like atrocious. Whoa, that's a
And this is all
lot.
stocked.
Monster trophy. Whoa, hey. Can I grab one right now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Hell, what is this? The Pro Lab? Do y'all ever go in here, or
This
are
is
you not
where
pros?
The coaches, like,
Yeah.
rain over. That's Jake's setup.
Oh, we got Coach Rain over in there.
Get the
Okay.
Jake setup.
Oh yeah. Wait, he's not here. Let's go rate Jake's setup.
Like a unfiltered Jake setup.
Okay.
Look, he even has
Coach
his mic
Jake.
out. He even has his mic out.
Oh, that's actually pretty cute. How often do you make him use this stress ball, guys? Be honest.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every game.
We're holding it today.
He almost
Sounds about right.
he almost threw it at Mir. That's why he has all the medication there. If you saw on his desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, rain over. We were never here. Don't tell Swan. There's a cat. Oh my goodness. There's a dog.
So we're going to the review room.
We're going to the what?
Review room.
We're going to the review room. Okay.
Right next to our practice room.
So we have the practice room.
So whenever we play a screen game, we just go right into this room.
Okay.
There are actually assigned seats, believe it or not.
There's assigned
Go
seats.
take your positions. Oh, I've got mine.
The sofa is really comfy, and Spawn usually sits over there.
These are the assigned seats.
All right.
It's like an unspoken rule.
Why did you pick the corner seat?
Because it's the best one.
Because he's greedy.
Because he's greedy. Okay, so we all agree the corner is the best seat. All right.
How did everyone else get stuck with their seats? Because this is not in like positional order.
Well, originally I would sit on that stool, last foot. I worked my way into the couch.
I'm such a nice guy, so I just sit on every meter.
So then this is coach's seat.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna try this out. See what it's like. Oh, I feel powerful. Oh, Kim down. I'm gonna need a let's go.
Let's go.
There we go. Bradley, where are we going?
Going to the kitchen. It is legit. It is so nice.
Mira, are you a coffee guy?
No, I hate caffeine.
You hate caffeine?
Yeah.
Oh.
My body doesn't really like caffeine.
This guy's insulting me. On camera.
I would never.
No?
On camera.
I didn't say anything.
That's why I stress eat.
Kim down, how often does APA bully Bradley?
He bullies me way more.
Not a lot. He actually bullies me more.
He bullies me
Okay.
more?
Way more.
In my defense today, I had to bang on his door to wake him up 20 minutes before scrims.
Mira, what do you have to say for
A
yourself?
little bit of bullying is deserved.
No, it was the first time in an entire year, so.
A
Oh.
little bit of bullying deserves for that one.
What do we think, Arrow? First time all year that happened, or has it happened again?
It's the truth.
It's the truth? All right. We trust Arrow.